academic circles. With brushes in their hands, evolutionists produce imaginary creatures. Nevertheless, the fact that these drawings correspond to no-matching fossils constitutes a serious problem for them. One of the interesting methods they employ to overcome this problem is to produce the fossils they cannot find. Piltdown Man, which may be the biggest scandal in the history of science, is a typical example of this method. In 1912, a well-known doctor and amateur paleoanthropologist named Charles Darwinism came out with the assertion that he had found the jawbone and the cranial fragment in a pit in Piltdown, England. Even though the jawbone was more ape-like, the teeth and the skull were like a man. These specimens were labeled Piltdown Man, alleged to be 500,000 years old. They were displayed as an absolute proof of human evolution in several museums. For more than 40 years, many scientific articles were written on Piltdown Man. Many interpretations and drawings were made, and the fossil was presented as important evidence for human evolution. No fewer than 500 doctoral theses were written on the subject. In 1949, Kenneth Oakley from the British Museum's Paleontology Department attempted to use fluorine testing, an ink test used for determining the date of fossils. A trial was made on the fossils of the Piltdown Man. The result was astonishing. During the test, it was realized that the jawbone of Piltdown Man didn't contain any fluorine. This indicated that it had remained buried no more than a few years. The skull, which contained only a small amount of fluorine, showed that it was not older than a few thousand years old. It was determined that the teeth and the jawbone belonging to an orangutan had been worn down artificially. And that the primitive tools discovered with the fossils were simple imitations that had been sharpened with steel implements. In the detailed analysis completed by Joseph Weiner, this forgery was released to the public in 1953. The skull belonged to a 500-year-old man, and the jawbone belonged to a recently deceased ape. These had been specially arranged in a particular way and added to the jaw, and the molar surfaces were filed in order to resemble those of a man. All these pieces were stained with potassium dichromate to give them an old appearance. These stains began to disappear when dipped in acid. Charles Wilfred Blake Rose Clark, who was in the team that uncovered the forgery, couldn't hide his astonishment at the situation and said, "The evidences of artificial abrasion immediately sprang to the eye. Indeed, so obvious that they seem it may well be asked, how was it that they had escaped notice before?" In the wake of all this, Piltdown Man was hurriedly removed from the British Museum, where it had been displayed for more than 40 years. This scandal showed that evolutionists had no findings to reinforce their theory. Since they have no evidence, they prefer to fabricate it.